Man. What's going on, Bulls Nation? Welcome into the CHGO Bulls podcast, coming to you live from our studios here in West Loop, downtown Chicago. I'm Peck, Bulls_Peck, Big Day, bam! Bow! BNWL Sports, Will the Go, Gottlieb, rocking, claws up, and his CHGO Bears tee. Will_Gottlieb, and subbing in for Joe, who's still not quite done with Cubs postgame because the Cubs went late in dramatic fashion, got the W.
Radical.
Our guy Law on the draw, rocking the controls.
What's up, Law?
What's up, Bulls Nation? How you doing?
I like
I
how
feel
you're
like
your
we've
own
barely
polls.
seen any of you this summer. The occasional remote.
When I showed up on Monday, I felt like I hadn't been here in like a month.
Yeah,
it was just
same.
2 weeks. It was the DNC, and then I was
Right.
on vacation the week before. So.
Right.
Right.
But I did forget how to do my job. So
Oh, that's fun.
And like I thought we were doing Blackhawks in Studio B today, and at like 2 minutes till the show, Joey's like, "Yeah, you're over at A," and I'm like, "Oh shit!" I had to redo all my graphics over here.
And you did it in 2 minutes?
Yeah,
It's
man.
impressive, man.
Impressive.
Hey,
It's
Little,
impressive.
little peek behind
We
the
already
curtain.
ruined our
Yeah.
no swearing streak.
Yeah.
fuck.
At least no one's holding up a giant sign. Yeah, palm on it.
Don't say crap.
Well, it seems like you've quickly relearned how to do your job. I might come to you for advice when I come back
Yeah.
a week and change from now after taking my vacay and get some pointers on how to relearn your job because I plan on fully forgetting everything about this while I'm
Yeah.
gone.
Oh, I give you pointers on that.
Yeah, Dave.
Oh my God.
How you doing?
Oh, it was the best. Like just everything was off. Nothing existed. Nothing existed. That
Everything
the way
is
to do it.
nothing.
Nothing.
That's what I'm looking forward
You
to.
cut it back on Sunday or Monday, depending.
Mhm.
But yeah, but that other time, no, none of this exists. Only thing that exists is your peace and your quiet and your joy. That's the only thing that exists.
The only thing that matters to me is that you come back with the stash. And it seems like
Well,
we're trending in that direction.
I don't know if you've noticed that
Seems like
there
we were
is
trending in that
the
direction.
early stages of a beard that have grown out the last couple
I've
of weeks.
noticed.
Oh,
I've
I've
noticed. The people have noticed. They're giving you good
people.
compliments on your beard. They're enjoying the beard, but they want
This
the
is,
stash.
I mean, it doesn't take a detective or sleuth of any kind, no Sherlock Holmes to figure out what happens next.
yeah, we seen this movie.
Yeah. The beard comes with it, so it's
Yeah.
not just this
Right.
and being on a police list of some kind.
Correct.
As the stash, fills out.
That's pretty good.
I live next to a school. I don't want to. I don't want to make any risks.
Hey, kids.
Lots of fun stuff to talk about on today's show. The rest of the NBA 2K Top 100 came out over the last few days. We will talk about that. No Bulls in the top 50. Shocker. We'll still talk about it nonetheless. Interesting trade proposal from Bleacher Report with the Bulls and Nuggets swapping a couple of their star players. We will talk about that. But first, I did want to at least briefly touch on the talk of NBA Twitter today, which was the announcement that, Netflix and Uninterrupted are doing this show.
Yeah.
Called The Starting Five.
Yeah.
And it is apparently like film crews followed around 5 NBA players all of this past 23-24 NBA season.
Yeah.
And they are just now going to start airing it October 9th. So it's a docu-series about last season that they are now just airing. The 5 players in this Starting Five documentary, LeBron, Jason Tatum, Anthony Edwards, Jimmy Buckets, Domantas Sabonis. Everybody was losing their shit over this today.
Were they?
Yes. Everybody's so hyped for this. I know Goat, you mentioned Goat in our Bull Slack, hey, this is like the NBA Hard Knocks that you've been
That's
asking
what
for.
we're talking about. Yeah.
We learn who these 5 players are, and my maybe unpopular and maybe old guy yells at cloud take when I saw it was, other than Anthony Edwards, I don't give a crap about watching a film crew follow around these 4 other players for an NBA season.
Yeah, well,
I am so disinterested.
Well, we know 2 of the 4 at least you truly don't want to see do anything.
Oh yeah,
So I get that.
Yeah, I want to I want to watch Jimmy and LeBron suck each other off, suck themselves off even more.
Hi, Roku.
Hey, Roku. But yeah, so I know why he's feeling this way. I didn't watch the trailer yet. I am going to watch the show for sure, just to see what it's about, and I'll make my determinations then about what it is. But on surface, he has a point as far as the guys that they picked. I will say Jimmy Butler might be a little interesting.
Yeah, I want to see the coffee run.
Sabonis, just want to cool to see a Sabonis. You should have saw his father when he was younger.
That I would watch.
Tatum might have an interesting life outside of basketball, maybe.
He's literally like the memes going around when the Celtics won the chip is that he has had no original moments.
Yes, correct.
As an NBA superstar.
True.
They've all been watered down versions of something that's already happened.
Yeah,
the Kevin Garnett 08 championship celebration.
That's
Tatum
one.
did a weaker, more boring version of it. That was one of countless examples.
He has a cool son. I like to see him spend time with that. He has an amazing girlfriend. Hello. Want to see that as well. LeBron is always interesting to see, in my opinion, what he does. Whether I'm agreeing or disagreeing with what he's doing, I'll look at it and see it because it's LeBron James. But yeah, they'll throw it against the wall. Let's see what happens and see if it sticks. And Anthony Edwards might save everything about the show. So yeah, we'll see.
I just feel like it's the right idea.
Yeah.
I think it's cool to like watch players, follow them around, get to know them, get to hear some of their stories that you wouldn't otherwise hear. I think that part of it's cool. When I say like I wanted the hard knocks of basketball, it's more like I want to see like the coaches talking strategy. I want to see the front offices like having conversations on the phone with like other teams about their draft boards or like what players they might sign in free agency. Like that was the kind of stuff, especially with the like offseason hardwood knocks that followed the Giants, that was really cool.
Yeah.
And that was like present day.
Sure.
So this is like last year looking at their last season. Mm-hmm. I think it's obviously a cool concept and it's going to be cool to like get any additional insight that you wouldn't otherwise have. But to me, I think what makes Hard Knocks so special is that it gives you access to what's going on right now. Yeah. Mm-hmm. And it's like really unfiltered in the sense that like, this is not stuff that the best reporters are getting. This is like just really unique content that you can only get in this way. And I feel like that there's an opportunity for that with basketball. I think, these franchises are, everything is about information, right? Yeah. They need to have that and protect that, whether it's like the way that they're strategizing, their analytics, their scouting, whatever it may be. So I understand why they won't do it, but that's the kind of thing that I'm still waiting for.
Yeah. Give Will what he wants.
Give me what I want.
Give him what he needs.
He could be in the comments saying, I want to see behind the scenes trades. Rob saying, I want to see Hard Knocks Bulls. Do you really?
Ooh.
I mean, think about that. I don't know.
A lot of red tape.
I don't think I do.
Be a lot of red tape.
I already feel like I need to lobotomize myself as a Bulls fan. I don't need to know more about their dirty laundry and how bad they are at their jobs by watching Hard Knocks Bulls or something equivalent to it.
I don't think you'll see it.
I'm angry enough as it is without getting more of a peek behind the curtain.
I will say I thought the biggest news on Twitter was shout out to my man Torrey Craig.
Oh man,
shout out, sir!
I have heard of Megan Thee Stallion.
Yes, you have.
She was doing like a thing on Insta, one of those like couple surveys.
Yes, correct.
And the gentleman lying in bed next to her was none other than Bulls alley-oop legend Torrey Craig.
So that means Meg Thee Stallion. It's a chance Meg Thee Stallion shows up at the Bulls game, probably with Angel Reese, to hang out and watch the Chicago Bulls play. And that is going to be a ticket, ladies and gentlemen.
Whoa.
Yeah, it could be a thing.
Was that like breaking news in the fact that nobody knew that they were together previous to that dropping?
No, nobody knew that, bro. That's out of left field right there. Shout out Torrey Craig. As everybody keeps saying, they were not familiar with your game. Shout out to you, my friend, for real. That is a W.
Good for him.
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
enjoying the offseason.
This whole uninterrupted Hard Knocks, whatever the hell, what is it called? Is it
starting five? I think it's called.
Is that what it is?
Yeah. I'm with
five starters.
The main problem is that it's from last year. And
yeah.
Like how many episodes is it going to be? Is it just like a 4-episode
what's gonna happen.
Yeah, exactly.
Mid-season tournament.
Yeah.
I mean, but like if there are cool stories about like what the Lakers did in Vegas together when they were like the night before their in-season tournament championship game. That would be cool.
Okay.
Like, I'm not saying it's stupid. It's not exactly what I'm looking for.
No, they got you a little piece.
They're giving me a little crumb.
They didn't give you the whole little crumb.
And I like crumbs.
You like crumbs?
Give me the whole cookie.
He's a crumb guy.
I
But
mean,
Sweet Tooth Willie got to have the whole thing now.
Classic crumb guy.
Come on now.
maybe the Tatum, all his watered down versions of everything, maybe that's a bit from the show that we will find out, like someone dared him to do all those things.
That would be an unexpected twist.
Yeah.
I think he's just kind of a boring superstar.
Correct. And
I will say when the trailer started and I saw everybody's phone ringing with the group chat, I immediately quit watching the trailer. I was like, oh, this is corny. I don't want to watch
this
that.
is dumb.
Like, I immediately stopped.
This is dumb.
I stopped. But I'm going to watch it. I'm going to watch it on Netflix. We'll
Meanwhile, the Giggities in the comments just said, give Torrey Craig Zach LaVine's contract. He's more worth it just for getting Meg.
That man won. You hear me?
Yes.
W.
I give him are there trophies? Can we give him a trophy?
Hey, goon of the night.
I was just about to
He
say.
gets it.
He's goon of the summer.
You get the
Goon of the
belt.
offseason.
Get the belt for that man.
Goon of the offseason?
Yeah, man. Let me get the belt. Let me get the belt for that man. You're right. Goon of the
Law's
off-season.
looking for the belt for you.
Goon of the off-season goes to the main man, the one and only Torrey Craig, sir.
Shout out to our dear old friends at Empire.
Oh, man.
Empire
yes.
Today.
Shout out Empire Today.
Get yourself some floors.
Get yourself some floors tonight. But my goodness.
Do they also sell do they sell beds at Empire?
This is for you right there, Torrey Craig. Congratulations, my friend. This Goon of the Offseason award is yours. We are proud of you. You are an amazing individual, dog. Great basketball player, wonderful father, but my God, you are the man. Congratulations, Goon of the Offseason, sir. This wins. Modest comes in second just from talking to him and meeting him like that. That dude's a goon too, for sure. But
Lars just said,
Torrey
I love
Craig.
Modest, but this is the best moment for the Bulls franchise this year.
The biggest move. Forget the trades. This is the biggest move right here. Shout out, Torrey Craig, man. Shout out, sir. Good job.
How many in-season Goon of the Nights is the collective Goon of the offseason worth? Like, is that worth multiple?
That's a very good question. I mean, off-season just includes all the moves.
Yeah.
The summer league, training and, getting ready for camp and all those things.
Right.
So it's not as colossal as what's going on in season, but it means something. You know what I mean? It means a lot. It's more like a mid-season tournament.
Okay.
And you have won this award, sir. This is for you, Torrey Craig. You have won. Congratulations. I hope this gets to you. This belongs to you, sir.
Not going to lie, when I saw that in my Twitter feed this morning, it was maybe the 10th, 12th, 15th time this offseason I had a moment to myself where I was like, all right, yeah, Torrey Craig is still here.
Yes.
Like, I mean, I think we were at least some level of surprise that he picked up that player option.
I was surprised.
For a Bulls team that seemed like it was wait, Go, do you remember the specific timing of when he picked up that option? Was it close to the deadline of picking up options? And was it before the Bulls started breaking this stuff apart? Because, he's an aging vet who missed some time with various injuries this past season, but I thought maybe he could have gotten a better deal than that on the free agent market.
I agree.
It was exercised on 6/29.
6/29. So that was 3 days after the Caruso trade.
Yeah.
Or no, like longer than that, because draft night was 6/26. Okay. And the Caruso trade happened like a couple nights before draft night, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Patrick was signed on the 29th also.
Right.
So that one was weird to me because it's like you've got power forwards in the building. You're clearly going a different direction, and yet he still wanted to come back. Obviously, glad to have him. He has a great locker room presence, but a little surprising still.
Very surprising.
We know he's a winner. We know that.
Probably, a certain additional level of jovial locker room vibes when he sees his teammates for the first time in a while, and they all, give him a hard time, but also some due props and flowers.
Oh, it's all props
for his off-season activities, shall we say?
It's all props. It's Torrey! Yo! Hey, bro, my man.
Like, did we think he was at Lala and met up with her? Like, when do we think?
Did she play Lala?
She did, right?
I would love to be a fly on the group chat for this one.
Angel went on stage with Megan.
Yeah.
Right?
I'm sure he's going to get questions.
Oh yeah, I remember seeing that.
Yeah. I'm sure he's going to get questions for sure when season comes around and that
now we need
relationship is
Hard
still
Knocks
in bloom.
Bulls.
Yeah. See now, yeah. And honestly, I mean, them hanging out like you were mentioning, if she, along with Angel, is just like catching some Bulls, it's going to be some of the most exciting stuff that happens at the United Center this season.
It's going to be rocking.
Okay, so that's that. We got plenty more ahead to talk about, including this Zach LaVine for MPJ trade proposal. That's coming up next, CHGO Bulls.
Proud of you, Torrey.
Today's show brought to you by our friends at Coors Light. Between work, social media, shout out Torrey Craig, and all the different choices life throw our way, it's no wonder sometimes we can get a little stressed out, a little worked up. But here's the deal. Coors Light celebrates when you rise above all of that noise and all of that stress and choose a chill mindset for yourself. And then the very next thing you do after choosing a chill mindset is reach in for an icy cold Coors Light. Why not turn a rained out barbecue into the 1000th annual Willie Go Gottlieb karaoke party?
Missed the first 900.
After a tough loss, shout out White Sox, settle the score with an ice cold peace offering. Make the choice to choose chill and then reach for a Coors Light because it is mountain cold refreshment that goes great with a chill mindset. And then, of course, thanks to science and aluminum, and glass bottle, I don't know how it works. When the mountains turn blue, you know it's as cold as the Rockies and a perfect temperature for drinking.
Chill.
Exhibit A is the sound I just made after saying that's it.
A, B, C, and D.
Coors Light is cold lagered, cold filtered, and cold packaged for a smoother finish. So make the most out of the times you choose chill and choose Coors Light. Get Coors Light delivered straight to your door with Instacart by going to CoorsLight.com/CHGO basketball. That's CoorsLight.com/CHGO basketball. Celebrate responsibly. Coors Brewing Company, Golden, Colorado.
Ray Chevy. Ray. Oh, shop Ray Chevrolet and secure the right new Chevy and price just for you. That's because their new car clearance event is going on all month long. And you can shop their huge selection of new Chevy models now at new low prices. Visit our partner this August at their location on Route 12 in Fox Lake or at raychevrolet.com. As one of the top-selling Chevy dealers in the Midwest, you'll always be able to shop one of Chicagoland's largest Chevy inventories because right now, get 0% financing, y'all. Make 0 payments until 2025. Woo. Put $0 down and find 0 hidden fees on all new Chevy models. He is not playing. Or cruise into August your own way. Go your own way. And shop over 125 of their vehicles priced under $20,000. And if you heard of Ray Chevrolet, then you have heard of Ray's Price Promise. They're guaranteed to make your next vehicle more affordable than ever with no price changing, no add-ons, and no hidden fees ever. That means the incredible prices that we're talking about right now, you can expect to see the very same prices when you shop Ray Chevrolet in-store or online. Shop the new car clearance event all month long by visiting Ray Chevrolet in Fox Lake or raychevy.com. They've been serving the community since 1963. Together, let's drive.
Woo!
I talked to Ray also before I went on vacation.
Oh, yeah?
I just, yes.
Getting that brand new free truck?
Yeah, I'll trust me. First question we get on the show. But he's really excited about coming on. I just told him everybody's doing their vacation things.
Come on down,
so
Ray.
Once everything gets settled from vacations, we'll plan something out and we'll get Ray up in here and we'll talk about free vehicles.
Shout out to our pal Julie in the comments who said, wow, Torrey Craig went from Shackton to Stallion.
Oh, well done. Well done.
That's what's up, Julia.
Very well
well
done.
done.
Very well done.
I mean, so Torrey Craig now has Goon of the Offseason on his notch.
Yes.
And Shackton a Fool of the Year.
Of the year.
Like that's a big spring and summer for him.
Yeah, that is, man.
He's halfway to an EGOT, right?
Yeah, what are the other two that make that up?
Loud dog, ladies and gentlemen. My man.
Something that actually involves winning? Well, okay, you know what? No. Meg, that's winning.
That's winning.
That's winning.
That is a W. I think you're talking about on the court.
Yeah.
I get you.
Coming on this podcast should be one of them.
Oh, that can happen, Torrey Craig. We'd love to have you on, man.
Open invite.
I got questions.
Absolutely. It's a cool dude, man. Torrey Craig's a cool guy.
Number one, how?
No, number one, you're the man.
Number two, why?
No, number two.
See if you can figure out which one of those questions is attached to which one of his spring and summer activities and awards.
Why? and more.
All right, let's dive into this Bleacher Report trade proposal. This was from just a week or so ago. The headline on Bleacher Report, in case you missed it, was realistic trade packages to move Zach LaVine and the other worst NBA contracts. I like how they put Zach in the headline, just, twist the knife, Bulls fans. Yeah, there are plenty of bad contracts in the NBA, but Zach LaVine's is going in the headline of this.
With Zach.
So I think it is interesting, however. So the Bulls receive Michael Porter Jr. and Zeke Nnaji, thank you, Law, whereas the Nuggets receive Zach LaVine and, here's the kicker that Bulls fans might not like, a 2029 first-round pick swap that would be top 3 protected. You can see some logic on both sides. The Bulls clearly trying to find a trade partner for Zach LaVine for a variety of reasons. The Nuggets have some question marks coming into a season where they are now a year removed from their title victory. They've lost reliable veteran role players in the last couple of off seasons, like Bruce Brown. Then Kentavious Caldwell-Pope leaves in free agency for a big money deal. And they showed in their playoff series loss in round 2, they just did not quite have the depth. There's also the big question mark about the health of Jamal Murray right now. Maybe, as you were saying the other day, Goat, when it comes to finding trade partners for Zach LaVine, it's about teams that are supposed to be competing and heading towards a deep playoff run that start to feel a little worried and maybe even desperate as we get closer to that midseason trade deadline.
Yeah, I think there's going to be maybe one more chance before the season starts where teams kind of get re-interested in potentially going after LaVine or Ingram or some of these other guys that have still kind of yet to find their longer-term homes. For me, though, this trade does not make any sense really for either team.
Okay.
This is like a your problem for my problem, except I'm giving you a first-round pick for your problem. And the Bulls are not doing that. They're not giving up a pick to get rid of LaVine. If they had the opportunity to do that already and they wanted to, they would have.
Okay.
But I feel like if you're going to attach a pick to get rid of him, you have to get cap space back. And that's not what they're getting in this situation. They're getting 3 years of $35 million of Michael Porter and 4 years of $9 million of Zeke Nnaji, which is a really bad contract too. So I think like swapping a 29-year-old for a 26-year-old, that's good in theory. But like Michael Porter Jr. has had multiple back surgeries. Like I think if anything, he's more injury prone or, problematic than Zach is.
Also coming off of a playoffs, performance that didn't, did not make him look that
and
good.
I think he's not as good a player. Like I get why when we talked to some of the Nuggets guys at DNVR, they didn't want to do it either. But it's like, and I get that because Zach's a big contract, and that's why none of these deals have happened. Because nobody's going to be willing to take on Zach right now, given all the stuff around him. And the Bulls have no reason to attach picks in order to get rid of him when they're not getting something good back in return. And to me, like, it would be nice to get a 26-year-old who could shoot it like that, but I just feel like that's not the right move for Zach, especially when you attach the pick.
So you say you guys talked to the DNVR crew. What was their reasoning for saying that?
So, yeah, here's a quick rundown. Shout out to our friends over there at DNVR Nuggets. Kale, my guy. When I asked him, his original answer was no, and he said because, Zach still got so much time left on his deal and MPJ's almost up. And I actually reminded him that if you want to throw the remaining contracts up, Law, so everybody out there listening and watching can see, they actually have the same remaining years. And Zach's is actually a player option. You would assume he picks that up, nearly $50 million in the last year of his deal. But MPJ's contract, as you see right there, as Goat just mentioned, he's making a lot, 35.8, 38.3, and then 40.8 from this upcoming season through the 26-27 season. And then Kale was like, oh, okay, well, I still am going to say no because I'm just not a big Zach LaVine guy. Harrison Wind said, quote.
That's what it comes down to. They're just not a big Zach LaVine guy.
Not a big Zach LaVine guy.
Nobody is a big Zach LaVine guy right now.
Well, and so Harrison just also said, no, not for me. Adam Mares at least offered a little bit of context as far as why he didn't think it would make sense for the Nuggets. And I thought part of his answer was interesting. He said, I don't think it makes sense for Denver because you can't have a Jamal Murray and Zach LaVine backcourt defensively. I think that's a valid point. Mm-hmm. It's too redundant to have Zach and Murray offensively. And he said, if the Nuggets are planning to move off of Jamal, I could see that this Zach for MPJ trade being a second move they make after trading Jamal Murray. But he said, I don't think the Nuggets move Jamal if they do until next summer at the earliest.
Okay. So
it would be a secondary move after moving off Jamal Murray to bring in a player like Zach who could make sense as a Jamal Murray replacement.
Okay, but as a player, they are okay with getting a guy like Zach LaVine, that kind of talent and that kind of skill on their team.
That's the thing, though. It's like you're not getting just the player. Like if they could sign him as a free agent, get him on a new contract, everybody would want him.
Okay,
but the problem is the money.
The money.
The problem is not the player.
I get that. Yeah. I'm just asking, as far as the actual talent of the player,
I think Zach
strictly on
with
that.
Jokic would be unreal.
Yeah, that would be
like
crazy,
the perfect fit for him.
No, that would be insane to sit there and watch those guys play together. I'm just gonna look at the talent of it since you guys have touched on the money of it. Michael Porter Jr. Right, he had a tough year, but he was dealing with stuff off the floor, and I kind of give him a mulligan on that for that reason. The same way I gave Aaron Gordon the same kind of mulligan too, because he was also dealing with stuff off the floor, family related. I mean, God, Michael Porter's brothers, man, like he was going through some things. So I'm interested to see how he comes back this year, you know what I'm saying, and how he will play, because a lot of his play is the reason why they didn't go as far as we all kind of thought that they would in the playoffs. And Jokic can only do so much. And even when Murray wasn't cooking or doing things, it was because Michael Porter Jr. and guys like Aaron Gordon were carrying them the rest of the way. And Michael Porter Jr. never had that game for them where he would drop that 30 for them like that. Coming to a team like the Bulls, it could be more wide open for him to do what he wants to do, you know, on this kind of roster. Like, who's going to check him? You know, who else you got? Who you passing the ball to? You know, Kobe, and that's it. You know, so he can really be their version of Kevin Durant if they wanted him to be on this squad. So, of course, you worry about the back end.
The newest person to take Patrick Williams' starting spot.
It'll be a wrap for him. Oh, you thought you were moving to the 3? No. You're still at the 4, sir. You will stay right there if Michael Porter Jr. comes.
Oh, God.
But you've definitely mentioned the issues with the back. That's definitely the reason, one of the reasons the Bulls didn't get him or retain his services in the first place. So it could come back to – that would be just a huge case of irony, a full circle thing coming back, because they were the only team that really worked them out and did the medical reports on him, and teams took that from them on that. So style-wise, yes, Zach would be great for them. I think Michael Porter Jr. could be nice for the Bulls because he would have a green light. But as you guys already stated, it just comes down to that money and Zach's contract. And my other question is, who is this other guy? I've never heard of him
Nnaji.
He was a first-round pick, 4 years ago?
Yeah, he's like a backup center that they've tried to turn into a guy that can be like a 4-5, play with Jokic, and then make him the backup when Jokic's on the bench. And it's not worked out. And they kind of paid him a bigger contract than he was worth, hoping that he would grow into that, and he just hasn't. And now that contract is looking really rough for them. Because
so it was a rookie extension that is about to start year 1 of 4 this upcoming season. And I believe it's 4 years, 32.
Yeah.
Okay.
So, so his money along with MPJ's basically cancels out Zach LaVine's contract, which is, around $10 million more than MPJ's.
Yeah, okay.
And like in a vacuum, would a Kobe, MPJ, Giddey, Ayo, Patrick, Buzelis core be nice? Yeah, for sure. I'm not saying
they'd be fun bad.
That'd be fun.
I'm not saying like that doesn't make sense to me. I think you add size, you add shooting, that does give you some more firepower, more floor spacing, allows you to play fast. It makes sense like just on a pure basketball level, but I think with the contracts, like he is, I think, way overpaid for what he's giving you at this point. And again, obviously had some personal stuff, obviously has the back injuries, obviously they had enough team success and he had enough individual success to where he earned that contract. But to me, it's just like, that's not the solution for me with Zach LaVine. I think that would be a fine deal, but I don't love giving up a pick to, and I know it's a swap, but giving up a pick to get another bad contract.
See, and that's the thing, because when we have been talking about would the Bulls be willing to give up an asset, draft pick, to get off of Zach's money, you're talking about a salary dump because you want to get off that contract and you have to give something up to get it. You're talking about, in this deal, taking on 3 years and not as much money as Zach, but my God, between MPJ and Zeke Nnaji, basically the same amount of money. It's not a salary dump.
Yeah,
it's a 1 player for 2 player swap, and then you're giving them a first round pick swap.
Yeah, does it change it that it's 2 players and not the 1 player that you can spread it out?
It would have to be, because Zach's money is so big that you would need to attach more if you're the Nuggets. And I think that's incentive for the Nuggets to do it, right? You're getting off of this rough contract that you're kind of stuck with right now and turning that into one player that I look, they need a starting 2 guard now that KCP's gone.
Mm-hmm.
I think there are some concerns there defensively and overlapping offensive skill sets, but like I think Zach with the Nuggets makes a lot of sense.
Okay, let's take a pause because I still do want to talk about a few other wrinkles of this trade proposal because it's late August and trade proposals are fun. More on Zach and MPJ right after this on CHGO Bulls.
Need a cooler? Yes, you do.
Of course.
You want a cool one? Of course you do.
Yes.
You want to get the rugged road.
Rugged road.
That's what you want. Get on the road. Make sure it's rugged. Oh, Matt loves it. When he went canoeing, or what do we call it?
Canoeling.
Yes. We went canoeing.
With my canoeler.
Yes, with his canoeler.
My rugged road canoeler.
Oh, the ruggedness of the road is what he had, ladies and gentlemen. Rugged Road is dedicated to creating innovative and durable outdoor gear for adventurers who demand the best. Our products are designed with the highest quality material and craftsmanship, ensuring they perform in the toughest conditions. Whether you're on land or water, Rugged Road gear is built to accompany you on every single adventure. Matt's favorite thing that it has, floatability. One of the most unique features of Rugged Road coolers is their ability to always, and I mean always, float upright. Never lose a drink. Matt doesn't care about the ore. Did we lose the drinks?
This is precious.
Got to have it. It's a lightweight design. It's unlike any other heavy-duty cooler, y'all. Its coolers are incredibly light, making them easy to transport on any trip without compromising on performance. Durable, dependable, and also versatile. They're perfect for a variety of outdoor activities, y'all. From fishing, tubing, canoodling, camping, tailgating. These coolers are designed to meet the needs of every outdoor or sports enthusiast. So gear up for the next adventure with Rugged Road coolers. Reliable, durable, and built to be used. Rugged Road is your ultimate outdoor companion. Head to ruggedroadoutdoors.com and use the code CHGO and get yourself 10% off. Rugged Road for the journey.
Today's show also brought to you by Circa Sportsbook. Good old Circa, offering those tight money line splits always, and, of course, using their low hold model, striving to have minus 110 odds out of the gate for almost every bet you're looking to make on game spreads, point total over, unders, money lines. Unlike a lot of other sports books these days that push those starting odds to minus 115 or minus 120, killing the value on a good, smart bet that you're making for no good reason other than that they're selfish.
Yeah.
And they're keeping that value away from you when you deserve that minus 110. You do. Circa said, yeah, you're right. You do.
You do.
So they give it to you.
Yeah.
Circa also keeps as little money as possible on large market bets. For example, futures bets. For example, NBA season-long awards. Mm-hmm. We are getting close to the tip-off of the season. If you feel like you got a good inkling for who's winning Rookie of the Year, Sixth Man, MVP, who's making the deep playoff runs, who's hoisting Larry O'Brien, the best place to make those bets with the best values on those bets is Circa, who, of course, also have the unparalleled customer service. Real people.
Yes.
Called humans. Behind that Circa Sports brand and their app who resolve any issues in a timely fashion, unlike other sportsbooks who use the dreaded chatbots. Not humans. Mm-mm. All aspects of their app are being run by the same team that run the main Circa Sportsbook at Circa Resort and Casino in Las Vegas. We love you. We miss you.
Yes.
Download the Circa Sports Illinois app at circasports.com/Illinois-app to sign up today. Be on the lookout for their various watch parties, events, and tailgates. If you or someone you know may have a gambling problem, call 1-800-426-2537. Text GAMB to 833-234. Visit areyoureallywinning.com.
Matt, I got to let you in on this. So while you were speaking, our guy Shirtless Wonder, came outside. And
the Wonder who is shirtless.
He was slapping the bass.
Slapping the bass, man?
Out there.
Slapping the bass, man.
But he was in. I mean, he was going, dog. He had it. He was strumming. He was going, man. And I'm tapping the wheel, and I'm like, what's going on with my man over here?
Well, like, was he just like in his own by himself, or was he like performing for you?
I don't know. I think it's a little of both.
Okay.
Maybe a little of both, but he just walked outside, stood by his grill, and started strumming. Went to work on it, man. Lawrence went and saw it. Will and I watched the concert.
Great.
Very important distinction, though. Was he strumming
He was
or slapping.
See, I just said slapping the base just because, I'm silly. But you couldn't tell what he was playing because, all you saw was the top part of it because the grill is blocking the view.
I see.
But I'm going to say the way he was holding it and going in like this, he was just a strong. That's how he had it. That's how Will slapped the
Was he
base.
doing it up here?
No, he wasn't up here. He wasn't
here.
cello. He wasn't cello. He wasn't up here with it. He was down there, man. But he was going in. I promise you, whatever he was playing, he was feeling.
Yes, man.
Slapping the bass, man. Slapping the bass. You seen this movie?
That's not Forgetting Sarah Marshall. That's the other Paul Rudd.
I know. That's
I Love You, Man.
I Love You, Man. Excuse me.
Yes.
Yeah,
Just
movie.
another classic Jason Segel movie.
Yeah, really good movie.
And Paul Rudd.
And Lou Ferrigno. Shout out to
Yep.
him.
And Lou Ferrigno.
Oh, yeah. Paul Rudd also in Forgetting Sarah Marshall.
This is
Man,
true. It's true.
goats. Eagle B in the comments just said Lonzo will start over Giddey. Nope. But thanks for playing. Okay. So, as far as this Zach MPJ trade, love you, Eagle Bean, but that's just flatly wrong.
Oh, my God.
So, like, the way that Bleacher Report laid it out, because I saw a lot of people in the comments saying, like, this trade does not really realistic, is not happening. I agree. I'm not saying this trade is likely.
Sure.
I see some reason for why the Nuggets would do it. A recent championship team, as I stated at the beginning of this conversation, maybe a little desperate to make a move and add star talent midseason if they are maybe dropping behind a little bit in a stacked Western Conference.
Yeah.
That part of it logically to me makes sense. And, they also pointed out in their little, like, why these teams do this stuff on BR, that Joker might appreciate having another shot maker, a shot creator of Zach LaVine's caliber, keep the attack going when Joker's on the bench, because we all know for the last few years now, the Joker on the floor, Nuggets, virtually unstoppable.
Yeah.
The Joker's getting some rest, Nuggets, not the same situation.
Yes.
Now, again, you could counter that by saying, who trusts Zach LaVine to run their offense?
Yes.
Like, run their offense. Well, if run your offense means Zach LaVine creating good shots for himself or maybe teammates for a few minutes while Joker rests, I think that Zach LaVine is capable of that.
Yeah.
Let's not forget this man is a two-time All-Star.
Yeah.
Dude gets buckets.
Yeah.
If he's healthy, I completely can see a world in which the Nuggets would say, we could use that player.
Yeah, to say that would be say Zach's not good. And I'm not going to say that at all. That dude can play. I mean, I don't know what else he has to prove to show you that. But, yeah, if you're telling me Joker's got to sit for a while and think Zach can't handle that team for a little bit, well, that's going, yeah, he could definitely do that. Give him the ball, let him go to work. Like, he's good.
The Zach LaVine disrespect, they pointed this out too. Yes, last year was a year ruined by injury and trade rumors and weird stuff. The 4 seasons prior to last season, that was a bad season for Zach. His collective averages over those past 4 seasons, 2 of which were all-star seasons, 25.5, 4.5, 3 3-pointers made, and a shooting split of 48, 39, 84.
I heard that's pretty good.
People talk about Zach LaVine like he's trash, and it's crazy to me.
Yeah. I mean, when it's
that
going,
is not trash.
When it's going, it's pretty to watch, man. Like, it's effortless. I remember sitting here and saying that word a lot during that second half when they had Patrick Beverly, where he was just like one of the best players in the league. Zach was cooking in that second half when he missed the All-Star team and all that. He was absolutely cooking, and it looked effortless. It looked simple for him. That is my favorite Zach LaVine to watch, when it just looks like water. And anything you wanted, he was giving to you, whether it was going to the bucket, whether it was the step back, whether it was that three-point shot that he has. I mean, it was just beautiful to watch him play basketball. That's the Zach LaVine that we know, and that's the Zach LaVine we have seen for so long here. Like, people, like you said, truly forget just how good he is. Yes, he makes the mistakes. Yes, he can turn the ball over. We know he can do all those things, but those numbers do not lie. And that skill and that talent do not lie. You don't just hit 13 three-pointers like that because you're trash. You don't just drop 50 points in a game because you're trash. You're a really good basketball player. And we always can talk about it like, dude, him being a number 2 or a number 3 on a team with Nikola Jokic and those kind of guys with a guy like Mike Malone coaching you, oh my God.
The right pieces, and namely the very important right piece of Lonzo.
Yeah.
When the Bulls were first in the East coming in the All-Star break, 2021, and they had a roster that at the time looked like it was well built. Mm-hmm. Zach LaVine was an excellent number 2.
Yes, he was.
Behind DeMar DeRozan on a pretty damn good team.
Yes, he was. He was on covers
that
of magazines.
theory has been tested and proven
Yes.
if the surrounding pieces of the roster are well built.
As long as he's not the one, Zach LaVine, it can. Oh my God, he will showcase out for you, man. He's good.
But I think like the missing link here, because obviously Zach is like a good basketball player.
Mhm.
I don't think anybody is saying otherwise. I think people forget.
Millions
of
know
people
him.
say otherwise.
Yeah, they say it.
I think people forget exactly how good he is, but I think everybody recognizes that he's still a talented player. I think the issue is the money that he's making.
Sure.
Because the way that teams are built now, it's like, is he good enough to be your second best player if you have a Jokic on your team, or if you have, a superstar on your team? Maybe is that player good enough to take you to a championship? I don't know, maybe. But the question is not like, is he a good player? It's, can he be your second or third best player? And if he's going to be your third best player, he can't be making that much money because teams are not built that way anymore. You cannot have three max players the way that teams are constructed now. So I think it's less about who he is as a player and more about, can he be your second? Is he your third best player or your second best player? And until he comes back and proves that he can be your second best player, people are going to think of him as, he's not worth it. And I think that's kind of where we're at right now. And so that's why it seems like he's just going to have to get back on the court. He's just going to have to get back out there. And he's just going to have to prove again that he is actually really good and that maybe he can be a second best player. Or maybe there's a team that's so desperate out there that is willing to pay him to be their third best player. And that's how it will happen.
Okay. He's good. That's what I know. And I'm glad you checked my man Strick.
Oh, yeah.
Because I was ready to get on him. I was ready.
Shout out Strick, who just threw us a $20 super chat because I reminded him in the comments when he said Paul Rudd wasn't forgetting Sarah Marshall. I said, you damn right he was.
Damn right. Yes,
Kunu, the surfing instructor, who tries to teach Jason Siegel. No, do less.
Yeah.
No, do less. Not do less.
Look behind those eyes, my friend.
Looks like you got some pain behind those eyes. Only know one cure for that. What's that? Shout out Sunnyside. Weed.
You saw me last time. I did. We had this whole conversation.
Call the front desk. Okay, Monster Man. What a chameleon Paul Rudd is.
Yeah, seriously.
My goodness.
Man. Super talented.
So kind of to wrap up this trade proposal conversation, I'm sure this is not the last of this. We're probably going to see things like this, whether it be from BR or some other NBA media source, throwing trade ideas out there as we progress through the first couple of months of the season. And Zach LaVine's name is always going to be at or near the top of the list of columns and hypothetical and trade proposal lists like this until he's traded.
Correct.
This was one that I saw where I was like, okay, I don't love that the Bulls are giving up a pick swap here, but I can at least kind of see from both sides why you do this. Because if you're the Bulls, the other thing, and I'm not saying this is a good thing for them, this is not something they should be proud of. At this point, something else working or not motivating them is just to get the deal done. Okay. Because there's so much fog around this Zach LaVine situation now. Whereas when you were talking earlier this offseason, Goat, about Bulls might have to give up a pick and something to get off of the Zach LaVine contract. If you can stomach a swap a little further down the road and you never know how that swap's going to work out, look, 2029 is 5 years away. Yeah. Are the Nuggets still going to be title contenders in 5 years? Joker's still going to be playing in 5 years?
That's a good question.
I don't know. That I could stomach it. I don't love it, but I could stomach it.
Sure. It's a logical thing to look at.
Yeah, I think that's the way where it would make sense to trade Zach, is if you're turning his salary plus assets into a better player. I just don't think that situation is a better situation to be in. And maybe there's an argument that it is. Maybe some people would perceive having, 26-year-old player who's obviously a good scorer in there and another backup center option as a better situation than having Zach. But to me, I would rather get Ben Simmons and just be off of it in a year and be done with it, or buy him out and be done with it, and then have space and then have flexibility. This doesn't really, but that's not how the Bulls have operated. So maybe that does make sense for them, where they're looking at, putting a core of young players, young experienced players together. That is kind of in line with what we have seen so far out of the front office.
Well, we'll see. I mean, I just think, again, the point of this upcoming season appears to be exciting core of young players.
Yeah.
Let's see what happens with this.
Right.
And by the way, that's why you should have been looking for assets when you traded DeMar DeRozan or when you traded Alex Caruso, because if you did need to move Zach LaVine, now you have extra stuff to be able to do it and not come out into a rebuild with net negative picks.
Right. Yeah. Or, like, gee. Shout out to the Hoop Collective. They were torching the Bulls the other day on their latest episode, reviewing what was going on this offseason. Like, wait, how? Explain to me how again the Bulls got 0 picks from OKC in that deal? How?
We don't get it.
Love Josh Giddey. Super high on Josh Giddey.
We don't get it.
Okay, let's shift gears because Zach LaVine trade proposal hypotheticals can only do so much for us before we get sad. NBA 2K Top 100.
Hey!
We talked about the 100 through 51 that dropped last week.
Okay.
That featured some Bulls that were in there. Kobe was in there. Vooch was just inside the top 100.
Just a bit out
Zach LaVine was in there for all of the injury stuff and all the drama. He was in there. We get to the I didn't see anything super exciting from 50 to 41. So let's start with 40 to 31 because we got some familiar names in this part of the list.
Ooh.
If you please, thank you, Law. Right there, number 40, our old pal Larry Marketing. Number 40 with an 86 overall rating.
Look at my special.
There is the Nugget Jamal Murray we were just talking about.
Yes.
A couple spots ahead of him. And then a couple spots ahead of him is our old pal DeMar DeRozan
There
at
he is.
number 35. Somebody was asking us in the comments, like, where's DeMar when we were doing, I think, 60 to 51.
Mm-hmm.
I'm like, well, he ain't here, which means after the 3 seasons he just put together in Chicago, as much as he is getting a little long on the tooth, DeMar DeRozan for the past 3 seasons has been nothing short of incredible.
No, super.
I feel like that 35 is deserved.
Yeah.
Age and ranking.
No, I completely agree with that. And knowing the team that he's going to be on, where he won't be asked to do, be the number 1 guy on the squad, like, you could argue that he's a 4th option. You can argue it, that he's a 4th option on that team. But, dude, he's going to be put in a great position to just do what DeMar DeRozan does. And that's put the ball into the bucket when they need a bucket because they were lacking that hard. Him at 87, I would have given him 88, strictly because Porzingis is at 87.
Yeah.
And I don't think they should be tied at that. Give him a little more because, dude, did you not watch DeMar
that's
DeRozan?
NBA champion Kristaps Porzingis to you.
Pardonne-moi.
Such a huge part of that Celtics run where they just steamrolled the entire
Excuse me?
East. Wait, never mind. He barely played.
Yo, you need to do is sat out the entire play. Was hurt and just coached and again got in and played a couple games. Shout out to him though for winning the championship. Shout out. But yeah, DeMar DeRozan deserves an 88 from me on that. Everything else, I think I'm pretty cool with.
Yeah, I think DeMar's great. What more can we say about DeMar? He's great. Like, I think what you said about him being like potentially the 4th option, I think that's what's interesting, and like how much of that is baked into like this rating as far as, is this what he did last year? Is this his rating as a player up till now, or is this his rating forecast for next year?
Mm-hmm.
And I wonder about what his numbers are going to look like on a team where he could be, I think, probably the 3rd option between Fox, Sabonis, and him. Obviously, you've got like some great players there, and Malik Monk and Kevin Huerter and Keegan Murray, very good players up and down that Kings roster, and they're going to have no shortage of points scored because that's what they're going to do.
Buckets.
But yeah, I really like what DeRozan brings to them in terms of this like steadying force that amid the chaos that is the Kings offense. So
yeah,
I think he's going to be great there. I think it's going to be a little bit of some growing pains with that team because it's not that he like conflicts with their style of play. He just adds to it in certain ways that I think they're not going to be used to yet. Mm-hmm. So I'm curious to see how it goes. But yeah, DeRozan, everybody knows how we feel about him.
Yeah, I'm going to take it back a little bit for you because I think DeMar DeRozan on that team, they want to use him. It's kind of how the Bulls saw Carmelo Anthony when they were trying to get him for that year and just using him for that sense like, oh, no, dude, you're that guy who's going to stabilize. And when we got to have a bucket, you're that dude that's going to get that bucket for us. When LeBron was guarding Derrick Rose, well, now I got Carmelo Anthony. I think that's what DeMar DeRozan's role is going to be here.
It's a great call. Yeah, I think a lot of times you put your best defender, especially your best wing defender, onto the point guard in those situations, closing moments. And Fox is so fast. He runs off that pick and roll with Sabonis so well that it has worked. But when you have that action going on one side and then you have DeRozan on the other, you can get into so many different things. And I just think it's going to be so tough to defend.
Very.
So speaking of DeMar and those slightly new look Kongs with his arrival, the next tier of players at 30 to 21, if you will, Law, features a couple of his teammates you were just talking about. Sabonis and De'Aaron Fox both coming in there in the 20s, along with Zion and Bam. Those 4 players all rated 88 overalls. Then at 89, you have Tyrese Maxey, Trae Young, overrated, Paul George, Paolo Banchero, our old pal Jimmy Buckets, and Damian Lillard rounding out that 30 to 21 range. And any grievances here with this 30 to 21 group of guys?
Jimmy's an 88.
Thank you.
Jimmy's an 88.
I mean, let's hear from our in-house Jimmy stand. But I was like, really? Jimmy Buckets over some of these guys? Really?
I get it.
I feel like with Jimmy and Dame, like some of it is obviously they're just great players, but some of it is also like their body of work.
Sure.
Because both of them did not play their best last year.
I was going to say, Jimmy's season last year was pretty forgettable.
Yeah. And I'm sure he's forgotten it, and we'll see how he comes out this season, which the Heat are going to be really interesting, man, because they on paper, they don't look like that formidable Heat, but we know that they are the Heat, and they still got
would still beat the Bulls in a play-in game.
Oh, God. In any
if you can count on anything in this world,
play-in, regular season, it's going to be
Bulls will lose to Heat in the play-in.
It's going to be a struggle. Heat culture. Matt loves Heat culture.
I tried to tell you.
Matt loves a Heat culture.
Okay, moving on.
Writing on the floor.
20 to 11. Heat culture. In the paint.
Look at him on the floor.
We have Ja Morant, Big Dave's guy, and Tyrese Halliburton as the 2 players rated a 90 coming into this season. Wemby, in a league of his own, the only player to be rated a 91 overall.
Interesting.
And then you got this crop at 92 overall. Kawhi, Kyrie, Jaylen Brown, the Celtics champ, and Donovan Mitchell. And then Brunson, Booker, and Ant all rated 93s. Anybody have any grievances? The first thing I think of is Brunson and Ant, same 93?
I agree with that. No, I kind of agree with that.
You agree with my opposition to it, or you agree with
I
it?
agree that they're 93s.
You see Jalen Brunson and Anthony Edwards as equivalent players coming into this season.
I see them. They could both be. They've seen them as both as 93. I do.
Okay.
I think they're both.
I'm not trying to disrespect Brunson, but like,
dude, Brunson was out of control, man.
People,
like, he was, I don't want to give the Knicks any compliment.
I know,
but I ain't blind. Like Brunson was out of control. That dude was unstoppable. I mean, just his height and the way he was scoring, like he was unstoppable on the floor, man. Like, no, I have no problem with Brunson being 93. I think it's earned, honestly. But I do think Kawhi shouldn't be 92.
Yeah, somebody, Anthony in the comments just said Kawhi at a 92 is ridiculous.
Yeah, that's a little high. Like,
he's played 6 games in the last 6 seasons.
What do you guys think about Jalen being a 92?
Ooh,
I think it's a little high for someone who can't dribble with his left hand.
I think he's
a world champion, man.
I think he's getting.
In spite of that, you're right. He is a world champion, Finals MVP,
and
you get a 92 if you find
Eastern Conference Finals MVP. What is the award for that? Like the Larry Bird.
I think it's the Bird one because the Finals MVP one is named after.
You create new awards in an era where the Bulls are irrelevant.
Yeah, isn't it?
I just don't know.
The West one I think is named after Magic, and the East one is named after Larry.
They gave him the Bird.
And the Finals one
gave him the Bird,
named after the GOAT.
Yeah,
obviously.
But if you're getting those awards, yes, you get a 92. Like you get that. But Kawhi at 92, that body of work argument we can't use here.
Oh, but guys, are we forgetting about his recent body of work and all the great work he did to help USA win gold at the? Oh wait, never mind.
In the team photo,
he was at the team picture, and then was like, "Peace, I'm out of here."
I'm good, guys. I'm good. No, he's not a night. I don't. He's got to prove it now, man. God. And knowing that where he is with the Clippers now, like he's the man. You know, like it's on him to be that guy. I know Harden's there and everything like that, but it's on Kawhi Leonard to actually show and prove and be that guy.
Kawhi
in
played
this brand
68 games last year.
Kawhi did?
Yeah.
No way. That's false.
Most
fake
since
news.
2016, 2017.
Most since when?
2016, 17.
You hear that?
Wow. Was that like 8 seasons?
That's almost 10 years, dog. That's crazy.
Yeah, that's like enough to qualify for the all NBA teams, defensive teams, the award stuff. So
and it was almost a forgettable year. Like you don't really recall it like that he was out there, man. So he's got a lot to prove.
Not so hot take. Clippers championship window is closed.
Oh man.
If it was ever open to begin with. It's
clonk,
closed.
clonk. It's slammed shut. It doesn't exist. They got work to do. But shout out Derrick Jones Jr. going and getting his money. And I hope he does his thing over there. And I'm very interested in seeing that new stadium when it opens up too, man.
Yeah, Clipper Nation.
Yeah, shout out Emma, big Clippers fan.
All right, guys. We have reached the top 10 NBA 2K Top 100. Coming in at number 10, LeBron's teammate Anthony Davis, a 94 overall. The other 94 overall, Kevin Durant.
Okay.
Are we good with AD and KD being ranked the same?
I'm okay with that.
You okay with that?
Yeah.
Goat?
Sure.
I know that our PHNX Suns friends were not super thrilled. Yes.
They thought he should have been higher?
Yes.
Or?
I mean, yeah, I'm not offended by it, but like
Kevin Durant's still Kevin Durant.
Kevin Durant. Like, it's Kevin Durant.
Okay, so moving up the top 10, should Kevin Durant be as high or higher a rating than Jason Tatum, who is a 95?
I think both AD and KD should be above Tatum. I think those guys should be probably 95s, and Tatum should be 94.
If Tatum's a 95, then they should be 95s.
I agree.
I get why.
I get that KD is, in his into his 30s now, and Tatum's sort of like in the prime kind of superstar. But I'm sorry, in what world is anyone taking Jason Tatum over Kevin Durant right now, other than Bill Simmons?
Team USA would do it.
I think I'm taking Tatum. Pack, listen to it this way. Anything is possible.
I hear it now.
Yeah.
I hear
that was the
it
shitty Tatum version for the record.
Yes, that was.
I like it.
Tatum
That's why he put the That's what it's the shitty Tatum version. Hi, guys.
So along with Jason Tatum as 95 overall ratings, and going in order 7 and 6 is Steph and LeBron. I feel like Steph and LeBron being, right there neck and neck as far as Steph coming in at 7, LeBron at 6, and both 95s overall seems kind of like chalk.
Yeah.
As far as like these aging superstars whose teams are probably going to be kind of meh this upcoming season.
With those guys.
KD should be with those guys. Yeah.
The more I look at it, I think it should be LeBron at 6, Steph at 7, KD at 8, AD at 9, Tatum at 10.
Tatum at 10.
Yeah.
That sounds logical. I can roll with that. Man. I can roll with that. But they gave him a big up because he won the title.
Yeah.
Like
Same with Jalen.
Same with Jalen.
So
and Porzingis.
Moving on, we got Embiid coming in at number 5 with a 96 overall rating.
Ooh.
And right there at also a 96 overall rating is
Wheels boy.
MVP frontrunner, perhaps?
Mm.
Shai Gilgeous-Alexander at number 4.
Hey.
Some people, the Embiid truthers out there might object to this, but I'm looking at this. I'm like, yeah, no, I think this is the correct order.
With the injuries, I think that's probably right. But I mean, they do have the same rating, so it's not like.
Yeah, yeah. Okay. I think it'd be all right. I think the injuries, I do remember Embiid having a really good season, but those injuries kind of derailed all that. And he was having a great season. He really was. And coming off of an MVP year, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And having another great season, but the injuries kind of derailed it.
35, 11, and 5.5.
Yeah.
Woo!
Like, come on.
Man.
Like, come on.
The thing is, like,
we know we
I
don't
just
like
think,
his game.
Yeah,
but
you just have to bake in the injury stuff. And, like, I think with Embiid, he has the potential to be the best player in the world, but also the 6th best player in the world.
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Shai is probably, like, in the 3 to 5 range, but the consistency and the health probably, on average, put him slightly ahead, but it's so close right now. I mean, so close. I think they are the same rating.
Okay.
Maybe Embiid. I don't know.
No, I think you're right. I don't have a real issue with it, man. I just think Embiid always takes a lot from fans and things like that. And sometimes rightfully so, because dude, the way he plays sometimes pisses me off. But it's still 35-11 and balling out. And I can't take away from those kind of numbers. The dude can play. Like, he is really good at basketball.
Yeah. And then real quick, any objections to the top 3? Giannis at 3.
Can I see
Luka at 2. Joker at 1. All with 97 ratings.
Oh, all 97s.
Yep.
Oh, man. I probably honestly would have Luka at 1.
Wow. Okay. Over Joker.
Yeah. I would he went to the finals. He carried that squad to the finals out of the West. He was the best player clearly on that team. And I think I would give him a little more love for that reason that he did that. and because nobody was picking Dallas to come up out of the West.
That's true.
And the
other
fact
than
that-
John Sabine.
Other than John Sabine, shout out to you, sir. And shout out Daniel Gafford. But yeah, I would do that. I think I would put Luka at same. I would keep the same rating. I wouldn't change the rating at all at the 97. But yeah, I think I put him over. I might change Giannis's to a 96 because he didn't really play.
You know, another superstar who had some injury issues last season.
Yeah, he dealt with a little bit of injuries, man. And it's just again, this is just me. It was just the way the season was. It felt like he got the chance to choose the things that was happening on his team, and they still didn't work. And then your body failed you at the same time.
Yeah.
So, for me, it's not. I'm going to reward you like, well, we think you could be that. Like, nah, you better 96. Just 1 point down. I think you 96 in them.
I wouldn't put up a huge fight if you wanted to knock him from 97 to 96.
Just that, man.
I do agree with those three being the top three.
Yeah.
Maybe SGA can eclipse Giannis, depending on what he does this year.
Oh, I think that's true.
In those rankings.
I think that's, Those are the top 5. I think you could argue 3, 4, and 5. I don't think you can argue 1 and 2.
Yeah, I'm with you there.
I'm arguing 1 and 2.
Yeah,
that's what we do. That's what we do in late August. We argue about 2K
you
ratings.
can't do it.
That's fine.
You shut your mouth is what
we're
you do.
out of time to argue about 2K ratings for now. We can do it again later. We are back tomorrow, same time, same place, 4 p.m. Central with, I believe, a fun
drugs in the community.
in-studio guest who will join us. You know him and love him out there in the Bulls community. Will to go, Will_Golly, Big Day Bow, BNWL Sports, Bulls_Peck. We are CHGO_Bulls. Shout out and thanks to Law filling in for Joey at the last second today. Slapping the best, man. Have a great Wednesday night, Bulls Nation. We love you. Hit the like on your way out. We'll talk to you tomorrow.
Big
Seems to be good. Big time.
Peace.
We all silly like the mayor.